What's up, everybody? Gather around. Everybody gather around. Your boy JC in the house with Mario. Uh, what we're going to discuss is black men empowerment. This is something that we both wanted to do for a long time. And now we have the chance to do it. So everybody gather around. Gather around, everybody. Mario, he should be here shortly. So everybody gather around. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Chase? What's going on? Everybody gather around. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Stephanie? What's going on, Asia? What's going on, Jocelyn? Hey, what's going on, sis? How are you? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Waiting for Mario. What's good, bro? You there? Mario, you there? Hey, what's going on, Emily? What's going on, Stephanie? What's going on with you guys? How's everybody doing this evening? What's going on, Jessica? Be here shortly. We could talk about black men empowerment.
What's going on, big brother?
Oh man, I'm good, bro. How are you? What's going on with you?
I'm good. I'm good.
I feel you. All right. I want you to introduce yourself to everybody. Tell them a little bit about you.
Hey, no doubt, no doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what it is, you should know who it is. It's Mr. KTU 101 coming at you with the big brother on his station. We about to do some big things. I love when we had these conversations, man. You know, I get energized. I get energized. But it's definitely, you know what I'm saying, a conversation that we need to have. So I appreciate you inviting me back on your platform, man.
Yeah, no doubt. So yeah, though, like I said, it's something you always want to talk about is black men empowerment. What does that mean to you? How would you define it? And what are some ways we can empower our brothers instead of trying to weaken them?
Okay. So black male empowerment. First of all, that is something that is very not only lacking, but it's also it's like an unspoken truth. And the unspoken truth is that we feel that black men or men should already come connected, already come whole, like they're born with this instinct to be a man. And I think that's far from true. I think what needs to happen is those young boys, adolescents, teenagers, those guys need to be developed. So they need role models. They need people that's going to be inside the home and also outside the home. Um, it's just a subject that's near and dear to my heart, man. I just feel like we need more role models and we need people to kind of say, hey, look, I'm gonna take you under my wing and teach you the right thing in regards to relationships, in regards to finances, in regards to just mental health. I mean, that's something big as well. And I think that we're negligent in providing role models to the youth and also to grown people.
Yeah, you're right about that. Like I said, there's not that many leaders out here, and a lot of us young men have grown up without fathers. I was able to celebrate my dad's birthday today, so happy birthday to him. But I'm just saying, there's not enough leaders out here that's willing to teach the youth, and there's not enough positive role models for a lot of youth to look up to. Every time you look at a black man, he's a thug. He's in and out of jail. He's selling weed or something like something that in fact, and it's like we have to show them that there are guys out here that are about money, about business, and they're not about selling drugs or getting high every day. They're about making money, being good fathers, and protecting the community.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point. But my whole thing about it is, man, I talked about being negligent in regards to raising young men, in regards to showing young men the proper direction. it's like this, man. Um, we need to be cognizant of the things that we're showing young men in reference to how we deal with women, especially whether it's social media, whether it's reality TV show, whether it's face-to-face and daily activities. We need to be cognizant. There are people learning from us and we don't even know it. There are people watching us and that we don't even know it. And the behaviors that they're watching, they're now growing accustomed to doing themselves. So we just need to be better stewards. We need to be better stewards in teaching men and saying, you know what, this is how you handle a problem. If you have a problem with the man, you don't run to a female and talk about that man. You don't run to social media and talk about that man. You go to that man and you handle your problems. Hey, don't be scared to put on some boxing gloves and step in the ring, but you have to handle it appropriately. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta know how to conduct yourself as a man. You don't need to get too emotional. Nothing wrong with showing a little emotion, but don't get to the point where you're crying and just falling out. Because you are, supposed to maintain a frame, positively or even negatively. Just make sure you're balanced. Balance your emotions and keep them in check. Because a lot of times, especially when you deal with women, they like to talk a lot, instigate, and a lot of times, a lot of men like to physically abuse women, and they in the situation could escalate a lot calmer if he would have just chill for 3 4 minutes and just kind of get back to his senses, because there are some women out there that do that will push a brother to his limits. So we got to be cautious of that. Just raising our voice and being angry towards women, especially especially when we get into a heated discussion or argument.
I think you made a good point in reference to anger towards women. I think that there's a lot of men in reference to communication skills, they fall short in how to deal with their anger. See, here's the thing. Most men don't like to argue. Most men don't like to argue. They say, hey, we're going to let them females, or let those women do that thing or whatever. They don't want to be combative verbally, you know what I'm saying, to that extent. My thing about it is we need to figure out a better way to communicate that we have issues, a better way to communicate that we have problems, not only with women, but with other men, also with our children, also with our job, also with anything that we're dealing with in reference to professionalism. It's so many areas to tackle. I think we need to do a mainstream and just start talking about, let's deal with self. Let's start dealing with self. Are we doing self-assessments that's going to allow us to say, hey, I'm a good communicator? You know what I'm saying? Are we good communicators as men? Well, I mean, what do you think about that?
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, that's something I need to work on personally, is being a better communicating, listening, and trying to understand where the person's coming from instead of just trying to see where I'm coming from. Trying to look at everything at different angles. That's what I do respect about you. You like to talk about men and women need to do better, and I do appreciate you do saying that and whatnot.
I mean, honestly, man, at the end of the day, I'm just excited. I'm excited to get an opportunity to have a hard conversation. This is the hard conversation. This is where we get together as men and we say, you know what, man, what's the issue with men? And are we empowering ourselves? And I don't think that we're empowering ourselves. I think what we're doing is I think we're putting a band-aid on a big problem. We're putting a band-aid on a big problem. I think that we let reality TV shows encourage us to treat women a certain way. I think that we let music encourage us to treat women a certain type of way. So, in what we need to do is we need to have men in real life. We need to have action in real life. There need to be more people not talking about R. Kelly, but talking about positive people that says, you know what, I'm going to put you around a positive person. I'm going to send people links. When this guy goes live, I'm going to send you these links because I want you to hear positivity. I want you to hear the hard conversation and dialogue being shared among two men and how you can benefit from that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you on that, but it's like every time there's something positive, it don't really hit mainstream. And it's like we kind of paint the picture that it's
Mm.
violent. So, I mean, it sounds good, to push out positive messages, but it's like it's always the negative that we always tend to focus on the most. So I mean, it sounds good on paper, but as far as actuality, it's like negativity is the thing that that's going to hit me mainstream instead of just two brothers talking with some sense, you know.
Okay, so check this out, man. Here's the real no BS. Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this? Here's the thing, man. I used to feel the same way. I used to say, you know what, man? How come when you do something positive, nobody wants to share it? Like right now, if you're watching this right now, I'm hoping that you're sharing based on the title alone. Here's the thing. When you do something negative, negativity is entertaining. Negativity takes our mind off of whatever negative is going on in our lives. For us to be able to sit back and watch someone else go through something or hear about someone else going through something, what it does is it stimulates us to not worry about what's going on in our reality. So that's why they call it reality TV show. So we can go towards somebody else's reality, worry about somebody else, or laugh at somebody else's pain. Here's the thing. We need to figure out how to reach people with a positive message that it catches on like a virus. It catches on like a plague. And people are saying this is a message that everyone needs to hear. Young man, sit down and listen to these guys as they talk about the hard conversation.
Yeah, like I said, you're right about that. And let me get to one of these questions. Angela said, treating people how you want like to be treated is a great place to start. The golden rule never fails. Yeah, like I said, treat people with respect, dignity, and reciprocate. You know, they're showing you love and compassion. You do the same for them. Like I said before, it's all about pushing positive conversations on. You know, I know a lot of times we push the negative, but we got to focus on the positive as well because there are a lot of men out here that don't get the recognition. Good fathers, you know, good husbands, not out there cheating on their wives, out there, you know, you got to see scattered. There's a lot of men out here that is committed to one person or, you know, the children that he do have for different women, he's taking care of them. So you know, we have to commend those brothers. And then also too, brother that's in the army that you have served in, I salute you. You know, need to get some more recognition. You know, so you know, like I said, a lot of positive like men out here, but it's like the negative is what's going to outweigh the positive.
No doubt, no doubt. Here's the thing, man. We have to learn to embrace not only self-awareness but self-respect. This is the first thing that men need to do. The first thing that men need to do is embrace self-awareness and self-respect. And this goes a long way, and I'm going to show y'all how far this reached. Self-respect in regards to we don't need a lot of people saying, congratulations, you're a good dad. Congratulations, you brought your daughter some Pampers. Congratulations, you took your son to a baseball game. The fact of the matter is, adults do adult shit. Men do men shit. Women do women shit. You don't need to be congratulated because you're doing adult shit. If you had the child, it is your responsibility to take care of the child. The issue that we come into is that men and women who grow up, sometimes the standards and values, they don't understand how to be a role model. They don't understand how to be a parent. And that's where we come in, brother. We have these conversations, people start sharing and saying, well, what the hell are they talking about? And right now we're talking about self-awareness, self-respect, self-awareness. I realize that I can get on here and every other word could be a curse word. And there's some people that's going to understand, okay, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, okay, it's not going to be a problem. But I also realize that I got to show a level of professionalism and awareness for my environment and my platform. The thing about it is if my daughter was to come and click online and say, okay, hey, let me see what Pops is doing, and I'm just cursing up a storm or whatever case may be, I know that's something I don't do around her on a daily basis. So why would I get online and do it? Self-awareness, self-respect. It's about not only your image, but it's about what you want to display and portray online in reference to saying, bruh, it's positive people out here. We just got to be patient and find them. That's what it is.
Yeah, like I said, like the point that you said, like a part of your daughter or your brother or uncle or dad, whoever it is, you know, when look at your videos, you want them to be positive, or like, damn, you know, that's my son, damn, that's my dad. I can look up to him. He's a positive figure to to emulate. You know, I might not have a lot. My peers might not have a lot of positive role models, but this is one guy that You know, he talks truth, and then he puts action behind the words. He's not just talking; he's about it in real life. You know, so that's a good point you made.
You know what, man? Here's my thing, man. We got to be excited as men. I don't think we get excited enough. You understand what I'm saying? We don't get excited about waking up and saying, God made me a man for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? He gave me this penis for a reason. And it wasn't just to produce and have sex. You understand what I'm saying? This testosterone that I got running through me and this energy, this knowledge, he gave me this for a reason. As men, we are supposed to be providers, protectors, and role models. If you disagree, let me know, brother.
No, you're right about that.
Okay. So,
yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, as a child, we don't come out the womb automatically knowing the correct way to protect someone, the correct way to provide someone, the correct way to be a role model for someone. That's where men come in at. Because every time you have an adolescent, you have an adult. You have someone around that should be governing the nature of that man, the development of that young boy. And if we don't have those people around, then damn, we what that young boy is left with? Reality TV show, the Stevie J's, the P. Diddy's. I'm gonna learn from them. I'm gonna learn from R. Kelly. So now that behavior repeats itself. And now these women, because a lot of women, they don't have role models. Somebody said your parents should be your role models. But here's the thing. I'm going to break down something real quick, real fast. How many people are in a two-parent household? And if they are in a single-parent household, how many people, in reference to women, let's say non-custodial parents. Let's take the responsibility just off of women. Say non-custodial parents, all right? You're there with the child. Now, how many people do you see running in and out of that household? Running in and out of this household. Mom dating him, mom dating him, mom dating him, dad dating her, dad dating her. So you're never getting an equilibrium of balance. You're off balance. You're learning stuff from everybody. I'm going to learn from the pimp. I'm going to learn from the hustler. I'm going to learn from the drug dealer. I'm going to learn from the preacher. So you're getting everything. You're a chameleon. And you never realize who you are because you're learning from so many things. You're oversaturated with information.
Yeah, so you're right about that. I mean, like I said, they could be you can use them for good or your bad. You know, your dad's not there or present. You can use that as motivation to be there for your kids. Like your dad wasn't there growing up. Why would I continue the generational curse? And why not? Why would I not try to break it and be there for my son or daughter? You know, it just depends on how you look at it. You know, it can either be a curse or it can be a blessing to wake you up. Um, so it all depends on how you look at it.
No doubt, no doubt. I think the thing about it is we have to be honest with ourselves. First of all, how do you become a role model? How do you become a role model? That shit seems like is it a degree? You understand what class is that? You see what I'm saying? Well, how do you become a role model? How do you become a parent? Is it just sleeping with somebody and producing a child? Are you automatically considered a parent, or are you someone with a child? I think we are confused in regards to automatically being who you need to be. You know what I'm saying? We don't grow up automatically education. Some people seek higher education. You don't automatically get a master's degree. You grow to that master's degree. You go through steps to get that master's degree. So my question to you all is right now, how many people feel like once you hit the age of 18, you know what you need to know in reference to be a parent?
You don't. I mean, you got to
Now
be
you think about how many people that are under the age of 18, not only in relationships, but have children. They don't know how to be role models. They don't know how to be parents. They haven't explored the world. They probably haven't even left their city. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna propose this to you right now, brother. And I want to ask you what you think about this.
okay.
Suppose Donald Trump was able to pass a bill through Congress that made it illegal to have a child before the age of 21. How many people would agree with that?
I would. I mean, I would agree with that.
Why would you agree with that?
I mean,
Why would you agree with that, brother?
I mean, I don't feel like you're mature enough at a younger age I mean, even 21, you're not really ready. But like I said, I mean, I think that should be the cutoff as far as when you should be trying to have kids. But everybody.
Who are you to tell me I'm not ready?
Mm,
Who are you to tell me I'm not ready? Who you think you are? Who you think you are? Because you a man, you can tell me I'm not ready to have a child. I can have a child. God gave me a vagina. I can have a kid whenever I want to.
yeah, I mean, you can
If
have a
I can
child.
drink, and if I can drive, if I can drive at 16 and drink at 21, who are you to tell me anything? See,
Yeah,
our society, we grow so defensive. We learn how to be defensive, but everything you just said makes sense. At the age of 21, imagine how much of life you can actually live. You can get your education, you can travel, you can actually be in relationships that's not based on, damn, I can't think about me today. I got to think about this kid. Think about that. If people made it illegal, you cannot have a child before the age of 21. That would change the game. That would change the game. Why are we not talking about that? You can join the army at 18. You can go die for your country at 18.
I mean, that's just like in the NBA draft. You gotta at least play 1 year of ball before you become eligible, or you gotta play 4 years of college football to be pro ready. So every situation is different.
We my thing about it, what's so funny? All my daughters are under the age of 21. And my goal as a father is to get them past. This might sound crazy to somebody, but my goal is to get them through high school and hopefully through college um, without being pregnant. Without being pregnant. Without being strung out on drugs. Without feeling like they need a man for something. It's a different type of conversation that not only do you need to have with your children, you need to have with the men around you. Sit down and have the hard conversation. What are we doing to make it better? What are we doing? We can't procrastinate when it comes to talking. We can't. We can't procrastinate when it comes to talking and communicating amongst each other. These conversations are necessary. This is the information you need to be sharing and say, hey, get over here. Listen to this shit. Listen to this shit. It's a different conversation. Go ahead, Jake.
No, I was about to say. I mean, also you said before talking about protecting and providing. Like I said,
Mm.
I gotta realize it's more than just providing financially and protecting physically. You gotta have her emotional needs, protect her. I mean, be aware of as far as her surroundings, make sure she's safe on every corner. So that's also we gotta work on too, as far as you talk about protect, provide, as far as not knowing growing up. And a lot of times we haven't seen that because a lot of times we've seen our mother do everything. So it's like we get into a relationship, we don't know how the aspect of, what is this? So we're just kind of like learning from scratch. And that kind of damages the woman because if we don't know how to now do our role, then she has to take on both responsibilities. And that's not fair for her.
So check this out, man. You know what I do, man? I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. Come in here real quick. Come on, I'm talking to the family right now. Hey, check it out. I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. You know what I do in reference to like my teenagers and my little ones? You know what I do in reference to put their ass in a adult role? I went and got a puppy. Oh, I went and got a badass puppy. Like he's shit everywhere. And every time you gotta clean it up, every time you gotta watch and tend to that puppy, you know what they say, man? I don't want no kids. Put them in a realistic situation and then relate it to something that's real in their life. If you want to go out there and have sex and be wild and be crazy, cool. But this is one of the results. One of the results is while you're getting that temporary stimulation, the long-term effects is you're gonna be cleaning up shit for 18 years. Shit, for some people, longer than that. Because even as an adult, they gotta clean up some shit, if y'all know what I mean. So with that being said, we have to be smart. We gotta talk as human beings, men and women, and find out what are we doing with our children? What are we doing with ourselves to make sure that we put our children in realistic situations? Are we giving them the right amount of responsibility?
Yeah, I
Are we
mean,
are we telling them to clean their room? Watch the car, cut the grass. What responsibility levels is it increasing as they get older? Some people don't even require their kids to clean their own room. So that's why you got that nasty man that don't want to that don't clean up after himself because he didn't have to clean up after himself. You mom now, congratulations, welcome. Come on, brother, talk to me, man.
yeah,
Come
you're
on,
right
bro.
about that. I mean, a lot of women they do call their men. They like to make sure they do appointment, make sure they clean their room, make sure they do their home laundry. So that's one thing a lot of women do tend to do. Call their sons. So it's really is damaging because when they get to a woman, they expect the woman to do everything, and that's not like I said, that's not fair for her. And
And that's it. Listen. Let me tell you something. There are a lot of women that are not domesticated. There are a lot of women that are not domesticated. That means the hustle now is, as a woman, is to get my education, not have no kids, and really rise up to a success level. So what happens is you don't have time to grow your family. So you get so far up as a CEO, now you're trying to date and you can't connect because something goes from I'm not really worried about being a homebody, but I am worried about being professionally successful. So when you're professionally successful, everything is a combative or a competition now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get into those competitions where I'm not worried about being domesticated. If you as a man are requiring a woman to clean the house, take care of the kids, shit, for some, pay the bills. If you require if you're requiring a woman to do all these things and treat you like your mama treated you, I can tell you right now, that man, he was pussyfooted. Pussyfooted to the point where it's like I'm a mama's boy. I'm a mama's boy. Everything that I needed to do, she cooked for me, she cleaned for me, she told me what to wear, what to put on, what decisions I needed to make. That boy who turned grown man was not put in positions that were realistic. And here's the thing. We blame that man, but we never blame the parent. We never hold the parents responsible. That's why this conversation is it's so needed because we need to hold the parents responsible.
yeah,
It
you're
seems
right
like you're
about
reading
that.
some comments, bro. What's
Yeah,
up?
let me read this comment. Yes, 34, no kids, 2 degrees, and I'm not domesticated as I wish I was. Yeah, I mean, like I said,
I
it's not
appreciate you.
really fair.
I appreciate that. That
Yeah,
realism. I appreciate you telling us that.
yeah, I applied that.
But here's the thing. Not if you're not domesticated, that's not a knock at you. That's not a knock at you. I understand the hustle because here's what we do. What we do in America, not Black America, America, we try to put our kids in better positions. If you grew up in the projects, 9 times out of 10, you move out the projects and you really never take your kids back to the projects. So now your kids, all the things that you learned, those life lessons that you learned, okay, this is how you deal with a bully. Let's go, brother. Let's go. Hold on, you want to fight one? Let's go. We learn those life lessons. But this is the thing when you leave a ghetto environment, a ratchet environment, a hood environment, you got to find a way to give your kids life lessons without taking them to the hood. That means, hey, you got to stand up for yourself. You can't let people push you around. We got to find a way to take those great, because a lot of those was great life lessons in the projects. They were just great life lessons. You take those life lessons and find a way to package it and give it to your child that's not going to be harmful, but that's going to strengthen them and put them in a position to win.
Okay, let me read this comment.
Go
Uh,
ahead, brother.
Yashanda said you can also raise a child healthy, and sometimes they do a 360. Yeah, that's perfectly right. That's right about that. You know, you
Facts.
can do everything
Big
right, put them
facts.
in school,
Big facts.
school, friends, but they get older and they want to
But
do their
here's
own
the
thing.
thing. It's worth a shot.
Hmm.
It's worth a shot. I was fortunate enough to help raise or to be in a position to raise some of my siblings. And based on how we grew up, my point was, especially when I entered the military, I went back. I got my brothers. I got my sister, whatever. And I brought them all with me as a private in the military. And if you don't know anything about the military, a private is like the lowest rank you could possibly have. And my goal was to give them a chance to see something different, to give them a chance to understand, bro, it's more than the hood. It's more than ratchet behavior. It's more than ghetto. It's more than just the color of your skin. Let me show you, how to monopolize, and be successful. So right now, my little brother right now is a Marine. Shout out to Boogie. And I feel like, man, you know what I'm saying? Even though he get on my nerves, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like, I gave him an opportunity. And that's what it's about, parents. Everything we teach our kids, they're not going to always be successful at everything we try to teach them. However, it's about teaching them. Knowing at the end of the day, you did something to teach them. You can't be in the club all night and then say, well, you cannot try to just give them TV dinners, but you out eating steak. You cannot be doing a lot of ratchet stuff online and expect them not to follow suit. You can't be listening to a whole lot of derogatory music in front of your daughters and expecting them not to reciprocate those same actions. Well, this would get dad attention. This one gets mom attention. So I'm going to now act like that. We need male empowerment. But better yet, we need to have the hard conversations. Talk to me, bro.
Yeah, so you're right about that. I mean, like I said, your parents, friends, they're your greatest influence as far as your child, and make sure you're doing right. Set the tone, set the standard. If you don't want your child out there late and smoking or getting high or out partying or showing her cleavage, then you don't do that. You gotta set the tone, set the example of what not to do. And but also too, sometimes uh, parents do the wrong thing, and the child looks at it and like, hey, that's not something I want to do. I see my dad get on drugs. I see my mom a serious
Yeah.
alcoholic, so I don't want to run down that same path. Like I said earlier about it depends on your decision making. What do you want your life to look like? Cause you see, like I said, I see my dad on drugs. I see my mom alcoholic. So it's like it comes down to the individual. Like, what path do I want to take? If they're not two good mentors, then there's always people that's out there that is willing to help, that are living the type of lifestyle that you want to have. So you gotta be cautious of that too.
I think we need to get back to an experience of having fun with our lives. You understand what I'm saying? Black people, listen up. Listen to me. We need to get back to having fun with our lives, experiencing new things. Stop just doing the regular old thing. I'm gonna tell you right now. You know what, man? I talked to a brother, and I was telling him. I said, man, I try not to go to the same old spots. In reference to clubs. I try not to deal with the same old people in reference, because I want to deal with new people. I want to have different conversations. I want to have different experiences. I want to explore all types of different and new possibilities. And in order to do that, a lot of people wait to the new year to say, I have a New Year's resolution. I have a New Year's resolution, right? I have a big epiphany of change. Today is the day that you start with your change. When you hear something that makes sense, go with it. Go with it. Find you a museum, find you a beach to walk on, find you a tree in a park that you can read a book up under, find you someone to have a different conversation. Walk up to a stranger, sit down and say, hey, let's have a conversation. You have to do things that's going to stimulate your life. You gotta do it, because if you don't do it, you're not going to be an inspiration to yourself or anybody else around you. You're raising kids that need entertainment. Not self-aware of what's going on, or aware, period. You're so boring that your kids now, they just like, man, I need some entertainment. Ratchet TV, I need some entertainment. Derogatory music, I need some entertainment. Hitting the club, They don't have fun at home. They can't have a conversation with mom and dad because mom and dad don't even, it's not that you need to be cool, but damn, you need to be responsible and at least know what the hell is going on. At least be able to have a conversation. How many parents right now had a conversation about with their kids about the R. Kelly situation? Gave your point of view on it. Heard from your kids their point of view on it. Bro, I'm telling you, we sometimes we miss the mark on perfect times. We miss the mark on perfect times to sit down and say, hey son, hey daughter, let's have a family conversation about this big, enormous situation in reference to R. Kelly, in reference to these allegations against him. Let's have a conversation about that, because this is something that could be happening right now. Do you have any grown men hanging around you? Let me check your phone. Let me check your room. Let me make sure your school attendance is right. But we don't have those conversations with our children because our children are now able to put on a facade. Your daughter has been having sex since the age of 12. She is now 17 years old, dating a 35-year-old man that worked for UPS. And you didn't know. See her every day. She smiles at you. She acts like she's your little girl. And right now, it's like, hey, parents, we need to wake up. Men, we need to wake up. Be those protectors. Be the providers. Be the role models. Have the hard conversation. They'll appreciate it. They'll appreciate it. Talk to me, bro. I feel like you ready to say something, bro.
No, you're right. You're right though. Like I said before, there's nothing wrong with empowering your children. Like take them around. The grandparents that's been together 20, 30, 40, 50 years, so that they'll know what a relationship is supposed to be like. Have them talk and have their life experience. That's the one thing that me and my dad when we was at we took him out to lunch. We was talking to an older couple. They've been together for 50 years, and they was like the key thing is just consistency and just have respect for each other, and just trust the Lord above us. So just have little conversations like that, and then also too, like stories like R. Kelly, and the movies like The Hate You Give, or talking to children about police violence
Yeah.
or police or gun violence. That would be good situations to sit down at the table and just discuss it. The problem is, and I don't see a lot of like black children like really or black families really sitting at the table having a conversation with the phone off, the computer off, having the hard
Right.
conversations, teaching them.
Right.
There need to be at least an. My fault. You trying to say something?
No, go ahead. No, I'm
No, I
listening
was
to
just
you.
saying, it need to be a hard conversation with everything with them deplugged from the matrix. You know what I'm saying? Like you're deplugged from
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You're just focuses on the homework, either your homework, your project, or whatever lesson that need to be taught, and everything is gone. You're not eating in your room, and vice versa. Everybody's coming to the table as one and just talking and discussing issues going on in reality. That may not affect you later down the road.
Yeah, I was just reading
Oh,
Miss Scott's comment. My parents been together for 47 years of tolerance, so they take them around people who really show and express love. Most definitely. Um, First of all, let me say this. If you are relying on your grandparents to raise your kids, I'm gonna tell you why it's gonna be an issue. No. Listen.
okay.
It's an issue because generationally, your grandparents are not going to be able to facilitate what's going on in the time here and now. Your grandparents are raising them based on an old strategy. An old strategy. You now have to understand that your children are exposed to a plethora, a ton, numerous, many, big information. They can find out everything there is to know about everything with the touch of a button. Your grandparents can't even log into Facebook. But these are the people that you rely on to teach your children how to be successful in today's world. Can they teach them how to clean their room? Can they teach them how to bake a damn cake? Yeah. But can they teach them how to deal with the world successfully? It's one thing to have a Medea in your life, but it's another thing to have someone that's, hey, they actually out here winning and getting it and doing something positive, and they can teach your kids something. That's you as the parent. Whether you're together or whether you're co-parenting from a distance, the fact of the matter is you as a team need to work together. And I think I need to say this because I feel like this might hit home for somebody. I'm gonna shut up, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, when you guys have a kid, understand that having a kid means that regardless if you want to be on the same team or not, you are on the same team. You are a unit. Here's the thing. Let's say you have a kid successfully at 30 years old. Miss Nisi, what's going on? Let's say you have a kid successfully at 30 years old. Let's say the parent of the other parent is 30 years old. That is 60 years of experience. Why would you say, I'm going to take one of the parents away and only give my child 30 years of experience? The more, they say knowledge is power. If knowledge is power, I'm going to make sure the other parent is in the picture to give my child 60 years of experience. You got to think about that when you're going through something with somebody else in regards to parenting. The experience level. That person may be able to teach someone how to overcome an obstacle that, one, was a struggle for you, two, you never experienced, or three, just because they want to be a good parent. They're going to teach that child what they need to know. You have to find a way to harness that other 30 years of experience. Very important. Very important. Miss Nicole, what's going on? Jay, talk to me, bro.
Okay. You know, I'm about to say, yeah, 30 years, 60 years of experience. That's what's up, though. Like I said, you have to and also show them, like, y'all not together, like, how you guys gonna co-parent, you know? Um, you guys are not living in the same house, you know, or you may have to take turns taking up the kids, you know, show them positive light and the fact that y'all don't, you know, we don't argue in front of you guys. You know, we're gonna make sure that, you know, if we do get an argument, you guys are not gonna see it. It's gonna be in house. But like I said, just picking you guys up from school or from practice. Like I said, we're gonna do it out of love, and it's not gonna be out of spite. You know, because we both, you know, we love you guys, and you know, and reality is, you know, it would be nice to have, you know, mom and dad, but reality is sometimes it don't work out. But you know, your responsibility is still to your child. You still gotta be there for your child, and in all aspects.
I think as men, automatically when we have a child, let's say it like this so people can understand. Automatically when you have a child out of wedlock, you're not married, either you were a one-night stand situation, produced a kid, in a situationship, produced a kid, or really in a serious relationship and you produced a kid, but you're now not with that person. I'm speaking from a man's point of view. I think that men automatically get a level of frustration when it comes to a situation like that. Stay with me, y'all. The level of frustration is that they believe that because you're not with that woman, that the woman is going to do something to turn that child against that man. Not all women, stay with me. However, we need to understand this is why you need to have strong men in your circle. We're not about to argue. We're not about to fuss and fight. What we're about to do is sit down, talk about this child's education, talk about this child's support in reference to the household, talk about any extracurricular activities, talk about the development for our child. We're not about to argue. I don't care who you dating. I don't care what you do, as long as it does not affect the development and safety for my child. We ain't arguing. Stop, fellas, stop getting anxiety if you have to go to the child support system. Pay your money if that's what you need to do. Don't argue. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. And when am I visiting my child? Here you go. And what else can I do for my child in reference to just have that conversation? Some people learn through books, reading, experiencing, listening, visually seeing. So you got to understand that just giving money is not going to be the bee's knees, if you know what I mean. That don't mean that you're the ultimate parent because you're giving money. You have to provide the time. You have to provide the time. And if you don't agree with that woman or you don't get along with that woman, then if you're going through the court system, say, okay, cool. Where do I need to go to see my kid for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is? That's why man empowerment is so important. You got to have men who've been through something. You got to have men who are educated. You got to have men that are courageous enough to have a hard conversation. Stand your ground. It's not just me too, it's you too. Man, it's you too. Hashtag you too, goddamn it. Now. Talk to me, brother. Talk to me.
No, but you was okay. So you was talking about the whole child support. We had a video about that. But I mean, I feel like you got to do what you got to do. I mean, just sending money or through the courts, that's just doing the bare minimum. Like I said, your child needs clothes, shoes, shelter, just extra help. That's just doing the bare minimum. Just sending a check. Then thinking you're dad of the year just because you're spending time with them every now and then, while the mother has to do mostly all the other finances that your money can't really can't really cover. So it's like, yeah, it's okay, it's a start, but it's still like it's just like scratching the surface. That's all. I mean, just maybe be a little bit more involved. If you have an issue with the child's mother, go to the court and just be more cautious of who you lay down with and protect your seed. If you know this woman isn't mother material, use your head. Don't just quit looking.
See, and see, now, bro, I'm about to come through here, bro. Me and you is about to get it on, bro. I'm saying this. It's like this. Ladies and gentlemen, we speaking real right now. So if your kids is around right now, y'all can mute this if y'all want to. But I'm going to say something real. This is some real shit. Half of the kids are being born. They're not being born out of love. Okay? They're being born off of one-night stands, and just because somebody had some good penis or some good vagina, and that situation happened to manifest itself into, voila, magic. Okay? That's what happened. Here's the thing. You might not even like the person. You understand what I'm saying? You might can't stand the person because you didn't know the person before whatever else transcended. However, now you guys got a kid. If you got a kid, I understand as a male, things can be frustrating. And God forbid if that woman wants to be with you and you don't want to be with her, or vice versa. Vice versa, because it works both ways. However, you guys now have a child. And now that you have a child, you have to realize that guess what? Everything that I do should count towards the betterment of that child. Everything that I say should count towards the betterment of that child. So if you're doing anything that's derogatory, manipulative, sabotaging, et cetera, bro, that means you don't care about that child. How many people would agree with that? If I'm doing something to hurt the mother of my child, that means you don't care about that child because you're trying to do something to sabotage, hurt, manipulate the other person from, guess what, being focused. They're so stressed out now. I'm so stressed out that this person is doing X, Y, and Z to me. I didn't remember that shit. I left the baby's bottle in the damn microwave for 3 minutes. 3 minutes, y'all. Right? I'm now mad as shit. I'm stressed out. This dude is pissing me off. Hold on. I get the damn baby bottle, not even thinking, and I give it straight to the baby. Huh? Think about it. While she's arguing with you, trying to feed your baby, think about it. I'm not here to stress you out. No. If you're going to argue, you're going to be arguing with yourself and vice versa. We got to understand that what we do to the other parent may affect our children. That's the thing. I don't know what this thing is. People feel like, well, if I do something to the parent, non-custodial or custodial, it won't affect my child. Yes, it will affect your child. At some point in time, it will affect your child. Talk to me, bro.
Okay, I'm just about to read a comment real quick. LaShonda
Okay,
said,
let's read it up.
true, it said, pedophiles should protect themselves and be responsible just living up and making a baby. That is really selfish from both parties. Yeah, I mean that's what I say about having your core values and be cautious who you lay with because that could be your potential baby mother or baby father, and you keep talking about he's not shit or she's not shit, then you didn't want to chose her. You didn't want to chose to give her your seed, your legacy. You know,
I
you
like
really.
Miss Nicole. I like Miss Nicole, but Miss Nicole, we got to be realistic. Realistically, is that a lot of babies that are being born, they're not planned pregnancies. Half, I don't want to say half because I don't have the statistics in front of me. I'm just gonna say a lot of babies that are being born, they're not planned pregnancies. You have to have people. If it's like this, if I meet a woman, let's say she's successful in reference to growing a business, she's successful in reference to higher education. She's successful in reference to how she carries herself. She understands that being successful doesn't mean half naked. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, whatever I think success is, she has it. She is the alpha and omega when it comes to that. Me and her, we go out for drinks or whatever case me, and one thing leads to another. And we have a baby. Here's what should happen in a perfect world. Perfect world is that this woman has all the things, materialistic, all the things that she needs to say individually, I was successful before I met you. I was good before I met you. I don't need you. Stay with me. The father is successful in his own right. I was successful before I met you. I don't need you. Now you have two successful people raising a child. These successful people know that if we have an issue, okay, let's look at it from a business standpoint. If we have an issue, we're going to come to the table and we're going to iron out our differences. Guess where the table is not? The table is not social media. I don't give a shit what y'all got to say about my kid. You know what I'm saying? Those people who run the social media for validation, affirmation, appreciation, or just for somebody to side with them on a one-sided story, you got to look at that. You don't care about your child. What you care about is being right. When you have successful people in a relationship, they move differently. They move differently. The lack of emotional success, the lack of financial success, the lack of whatever it is that governs you as a human being. If someone lacks that in a relationship, it's going to be hard trying to govern raising a child because they're going to think that running the social media, running to other people, or doing whatever it is that they do other than supporting that child is right. But when you have successful people, listen to me, spiritual, financial, mental, physically successful people, they move differently. The children involved are produced better because they're in a healthy relationship. They're not listening to somebody do a Facebook Live that's totally degrading their father or degrading their mother. They're not listening to friends come over that's bitter, that never been in a good relationship, at least in the past 5 years, that want to give you a relationship on, girl, go put on that dress and go to that club and find you a new man. God damn, you got a whole 1-month-old baby. How you going to the club? I'm just saying, you're going to get friends around you that are, when they're successful, they're going to give you advice to be successful. They're not going to do anything to ruin your business. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to go to work half drunk. No. They're going to give you advice to tell you, oh, you might want to sober up, or you might not want to open up today. Think about it. Bro, come on, bro. I'm right here. I'm over here. Come on, bro. I'm over here.
No, what I just wanted to say is just as far as men, I mean, as far as having a lot of babies out of wedlock, we got to make sure we protect our seeds, you know, protect ourselves. I always have condoms on us. I mean, how do you go to work or you go to the doctor's office, have paperwork, have your keys, have your work badge, but when it comes down to having sex, you don't have condoms on you. You don't want to take protection for your own self that may result in a child, or even worse.
You know I'm gonna push back on it. I'm about to push back on you, bro. I'm tired of your shit.
I'm just
I'm
saying.
tired of your shit.
I'm
tired of your
saying,
shit. Fall off the chair. Just fall back. Close your eyes and fall back. Fall back. So here's the thing, man. Listen, whether you're married and it's a planned pregnancy, girlfriend, or you have a child out of wedlock, I'm not here to judge you. God knows I can't judge anybody. The fact of the matter is, do your best to try to be a good parent. Do your best, man. If y'all not getting along, if you, whatever, just do your best to try to be a good parent, man. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, you notice that, like I said, I was talking about successful people. Successful people don't have time for bullshit. The more time someone advocates for bullshit, advocates for negativity, they advocate to do anything other than positivity, it shows the level of success that they've reached in their life. Success meaning maturity. I know it's a little deep for some people, right? Success meaning maturity. I'm not going to do this and put myself in a light or put you in a light that's going to shine dim on our child. You can have all the money in the world and be poor mentally. That's the issue. A lot of people feel like they're successful because, hey, I got a house, I got a car, I got a job, I got friends, but they're poor mentally. That's why their relationships fail. That's why they need confirmation and affirmation and validation on social media. It's a difference in how they post. It's a difference in what they like. It's a difference in what they think is funny. It's a difference. Now, for those people that you have one night stands with, for those people that you have situationships, you damn right, bro. You damn right. You better lawyer up. You better do whatever you need to do if you have a kid with one of those people, because they're going to do something that's going to continue to show you that poorly they're not successful. They're unsuccessful because of mentally. What's up, bro?
Okay, LaShonda said it's pride that gets people caught up in foolishness. Yeah, I do agree with that. Pride of life. Just like I said, just do the best part you can do. Be there for the child. And just don't quit pointing the fingers at her, and do what you gotta do. You gotta get the court's involvement. Take your pride, ego away, and go to the court and do what you gotta do. Handle your business.
You know what, man? You made this topic in reference to male empowerment. And I know you know who Thomas Sotomayor is. But for those people who don't know who Thomas Sotomayor is, and I'm driving this home to a point. Thomas Sotomayor is a gentleman that is a African-American YouTuber. I believe he's over the age of 40, who has a very strong opinion about African-American females. Because he had a very strong opinion about African-American females, I addressed him by calling him a Black Hitler. The reason why I did that was because I felt that with your platform that you built, kudos, you built your platform off of shaming Black women, off of hating Black women, and off of saying repeated harmful things. Now, here's the thing that I've grown to understand and also appreciate about Tommy Sotomayor. I appreciate the fact that you have the courage to speak out about things that happen to you, and you want people to know that not only is it not right, but you won't be successful in life if you continue this type of behavior. I get it. But I feel like once you built your platform off a certain agenda, you can add positive things to it, which is why me and Tommy Sotomayor are still beefing, because I feel like he needs to add more to his platform or whatever the case may be. And that's what I think that we need to do. I know we probably getting ready to wrap this up, bro, but I think that that's what we need to do in life in regards to male empowerment. I think that we need to add more positive stuff. You understand what I'm saying? It is okay, man, to tell a brother, hey, bro, shit, I like your beard. You're doing things with your beard, brother. Hey, I see you hitting the gym, bro. Hey, good job. Hey, I just seen a homeboy today, you know what I'm saying, a barber or whatever. I said, man, you in the barber shop? Okay, let me get some cards so I can pass your cards out. We need to start supporting each other. Stop trying to be, I'm not gonna talk to you because of my ego. No, let me put that to the side. Because if I don't put it to the side, somebody gonna get shot. Somebody gonna get beat up. Somebody gonna get ran up on. Somebody's not gonna get the information that, you know what, I really didn't have a problem with you, but since you allowed that shit to grow and fester, now it's gonna be an issue. We have to put positive people in our life and have a positive train of thought. Big bro, talk to me. I'm over here. I'm over here.
No, so like I said, you're right. I say have your positive circle, people that's gonna motivate you, uplift you, and just encourage you to be good and continue to climb the mountain and just be great men because we all have it inside of us. I know we're beaten down each and every day, but I do feel that we can empower a lot and grow and learn from each other's experiences. If we actually like sat down and had a hard conversation, we can really can work some things, build some stuff, and just make our place, our community a lot better. We put our ego to the side and just want to focus on building instead of trying to tear people down.
That's a great point. Miss Wilson, Miss Wilson just said, when people are jealous and intimidated, I'm not gonna stretch out this live or whatever because I actually gotta go. I got some things to do. But I understand when people are jealous and they're intimidated by you that it could be difficult. You as a man, you as an adult, you need to realize that everybody is not going to like you. They're not going to appreciate your God-given attributes. They're not going to appreciate your natural talent to be whatever it is that God has given you the gifts to be. You got to be strong. You got to sit down and say, you know what, man, what are my talents? And when you start exercising those talents, and I say it all the time, for every one person that do not like you, they can't stand you, there is 100 people who will love you. But it's your responsibility to make sure that you don't shut down because someone said, I don't like you. I don't like the way you talk. I don't like the way you look. I don't like the way you dress. I don't like the way you act. I don't like you. You got to understand that there's 100 people that love the way you talk, that love the way you look, that love what you do. You have to be brave enough to go out into the world and make yourself aware of the people that's around. Stop shutting down and thinking that because one person gave you a negative comment or one person told you something that was derogatory, that's it for your life. That's not it for your life. That's the beginning of your life. Because one person means there's 100 more people that you need to go find. Bro, I'm about to get out of here, man. I'm about to get out of here, man. I'm about to go eat some ice creams.
Okay. You say you about to go?
Yeah, man. And listen,
Yeah.
I really appreciate you bringing me on the platform. I definitely think that male empowerment is something that a lot of people ignore because they feel like men should already come charged up. And I'm telling you, ladies, right now that men are batteries that need to be charged. Men are batteries that need to be charged. And in order to get charged up, we need to be put around positive people. You, ladies, if you find a positive man, share that information to your timeline. Influence the men around you to be more positive. Charge them up. Big brother, I appreciate it, man. Definitely, we got to do this again, man. I appreciate you.
All right, man. I appreciate you every day. Tell everybody about you and where they can find you.
Oh, no doubt. Hey, listen, I'm on all social media platforms, Mr. KTU 101. I'm also doing a few things on YouTube, but on any platform, you can find me. My big brother tagged me in this right here, so y'all can make sure y'all hit the link and follow me or whatever case may be. But if you follow me, make sure you give me some feedback. I love that or whatever case may be, and reach out to me. And make sure y'all support my big brother. He's also on YouTube, so make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. I'm sure he'll put the link inside the description box. Y'all be blessed, be positive, be humble, but don't be stupid. I'ma holler at y'all. Deuces, big bro.
All right, peace. So yeah, I want to thank Mario for joining me tonight, and thank you for his time, and thank you for everybody that's watching. Like, share, subscribe to both of our channels, and we're just trying to make each and everybody better, and one day at a time. Let's just try to love each other. Everybody have a blessed night. Thank you for watching. Peace.